Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P. I am here to do my budget for the second week of March. Every time I say like what week of the month it is, it just blows my mind as to how fast time is really going. I mean, I feel like we just started March and here we are budgeting for the second week. Just crazy. Sorry, I've got a Band-Aid. My fingers have just really taken a hit this last week. I hurt my thumb. I poked it with a cactus, and it's just still very tender and sore. I don't know if there's something still in there. I don't know, but it's real sore. But today I was making Rice Krispie treats, and I was taking some aluminum foil to cover the pan, and the aluminum foil just sliced right into my finger. As soon as I did it, I was like, yep, that's gonna bleed. And it did. So I've got a Band-Aid on it. I don't know. I need to be more careful in the kitchen. All right, so with that said, this is a busy week for us. We have our first soccer game this week. I'm really excited. My daughter is in 8th grade, so it's her last year playing middle school soccer, so it's gonna be fun. And the weather looks like it's going to be really nice and warm, so we won't freeze. I remember last year we sat in the snow one of the first games, and that was pretty rough. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom in. I cannot find my whiteout. I still haven't purchased any erasable pens because I have a ton of pens and I don't want to buy any more right now. So if I mess up, it's just going to have to be ugly. All right, so this is going to be March 7th through the 13th. And we'll start with our rollover. If you watched my my budget with me last week, I anticipated having over $1,400, but I always kind of round down for the rollover just in case some unbudgeted expenses come in. That way, if I have more than I expected, you know, that's great. But I don't want to have too much, difference as far as over budgeting. All right, so I'm going to say $1,400. Mr. P, I'm going to say $1,000. And other, we are not expecting anything. I really hope that refund comes in for the YouTube TV. If you didn't watch my last video talking about, it was by check-in. I'd gotten charged almost $80 for a YouTube TV subscription, which I don't have on my YouTube account. My husband doesn't have one. I don't know whose account it went on, but it charged our bank. So I did do a dispute with both PayPal and YouTube. So hopefully we'll get that refunded. All right, so this is going to be $20,000. Wouldn't that be nice? $2,400 for the total income. All right, so then I'm going to go down to the bills and expenses, and we've got Mr. P Hobby, and that will be $61, and then iRobot. And those are the only two bills that we have coming out this week. So I'm going to move the total down here, so that's $93, and if you take 93 from the 2,400, that leaves us with $2,307. All right, so then I'm going to move that here. And let's see here. For our sinking funds and savings, we always do month ahead. This is, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, if you're new, I am a teacher and I only get paid 10 months out of the year. Even though I'm calling it month ahead, it's really my summer savings. I save $600 a month for the 10 months that I get paid, so that I'll have that $6,000 for the summer. So it's not my full paycheck, but it's close. All right, so sinking funds, I'm going to pull 190. Savings challenges, that's something new. This is just for the Monday minis or the mini Mondays, however you say it. Basically, it's just taking $50 from what I would have pulled for sinking funds, but just to have a little bit more fun with it, I do the little mini challenges. And then savings, I'm not going to save anything because we are not fully funded with an emergency fund because we still have debt, so I don't have the 3 to 6 months of expenses, but I've got a pretty good amount saved that I feel comfortable with, and it is in my high yield savings account now, earning interest. All right, so this section adds up to be $390, and that leaves us with $1,917. Then I'll move over to my cash envelope section. This is our variable expenses. Basically, this is the money I keep in my wallet. All right, so I move that remaining balance over here. And then first we have groceries. And that will be $150. I don't know why I hesitated. It's the same every week. Pet supplies is going to be $20. Household, it's also $20. Then our spending money, Mr. P gets $15. Mrs. P gets $45. I get more because he has hobbies, extra expenses that come out of our account. So instead of taking it out, putting it back in, I just take it from his blow money. Miss P is our daughter, and she gets $15 also. Sporting events is going to get $20. That's just to get us into ball games. Eating out, and this is not very much, it's $20, but basically that's just to cover when my daughter needs money, when they have away ball games, and I'll give her some, spending money for when and if the team stops to eat. I usually always go to all of the games, but she always wants to ride the bus back with her friends. Gas, I'm going to get $60, and I have not actually spent cash on gas yet because, believe it or not, my tank has not, it hasn't got to empty yet. So I am going to still pull this out in cash and just see how that goes. Unbudgeted, I expect $0. I hope $0. No, unexpected expenses. And then that section's $365, and that leaves us with $1,552. And that is what we will use to help pay on debt. The only debt payment we have to make this week is Barclay, which is $77. And then we have a line for the snowball, and I'm going to say $0. And we don't do a zero-based budget because we have weeks on later in the month where we're going to need that rollover to help pay all of our bills that come out. So we just roll over any extra from week to week. Now, I will put extra on the snowball if we get unexpected money, like a pretty big amount, say $50 to $100 more than I was expecting. I'll go ahead and make a snowball payment. But other than that, we just roll everything over. All right, so this section adds up to be $77, leaving us with $1,475. So that is the amount that we'll roll over for the third week of March. And hopefully we stay right around this area because I know that I kind of worked the numbers for the whole month, and I want to make another good snowball payment at the end of the month. And in order to do that, we really need to save every penny that we can throughout the month. And we're making pretty good progress with our debt, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that's it. That's week 2 of March. I'm thinking once games start going, we may have less grocery money and maybe a little bit more eating out money. I'm not real sure, but I'm hoping to try to cut corners and maybe put some extra money towards debt from the groceries like I had in January. I had thought maybe I'll put it towards Sam's, like some extra stuff, but I really want to get our debt paid off. So I think that I don't know. I'm indecisive. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out when we get there. But anyway, that is our budget for the week of March 7th through the 13th. And I guess that's all for this one. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way so I can pull my candle over and do the little ode to Nick. Can't see Nick. This candle hasn't been burning very long. I just started it so I could do the video, and so he's in the middle, but he's sunk down pretty far in there, so you can't see him. But he's in there, and I'm just going to blow the candle out and say goodbye. If I can blow it out. Bye, friends.